So many smartphone launches in the first few weeks of 2024, we can safely say it started with a bang. Now, some of them are sticking to their old concepts. Some of them are really supercharged with AI. Do you need some of these features? Do they make your life easier? Are some of them gimmicks? Are they truly game changers? This is a special smartphone episode here on Tech Today. I'm your host Aayush Ailawadi. Let's begin your favorite technology show. Well, if last week was all about Samsung Galaxy Unpacked and we brought you the latest and greatest from San Jose, this time we're back in Mumbai in the Tech Today studios and the conversation is all about these devices. The new OnePlus 12 lineup, the 12 and 12R, what are they all about? Let's unbox it and get right to it. Well, there you go, the OnePlus 12 and the OnePlus 12R shining in all its glory. But the OnePlus 12R will be on the Tech Today website and our social media platforms. For this particular flagship review, let's focus on the OnePlus 12. Now, the minute you take it out of the box, there's a bunch of things you see. Obviously, you have that 100-watt charger, an A to C USB charging cable. What I like about the OnePlus 12 is that from a distance, it looks so much like the OnePlus 11. But the OnePlus 11 had gotten a lot of things right. So you don't fix what's not broken or something like that. I think that's been the philosophy for the OnePlus 12. And what I like about it is that it is unabashedly itself. In an age when smartphones are getting slimmer and slimmer and there's so many design changes with every new edition of the phone, this is quite a bulky phone. Now we're reviewing the flowy emerald color with this sort of matte finish at the back, which kind of grows on you. Honestly, doesn't look like anything else in the market. So full marks for being iconoclastic and disrupting the space. But this seems a little bit too marbly for me. Perhaps not entirely my style, but what I can do is take this cover, a silicone case, which is given in the box. And it's a very high quality silicone case, honestly. If I put it on, it looks really cool. It reminds me a lot of the OnePlus Open. And then it doesn't matter what the color's like. This is quite a premium case that they've given you in the box, and that's what you have to appreciate about a value for money flagship. But when you come to pricing, that's where the OnePlus can genuinely obliterate competition for all the features that it has. Now, this is only about what the device looks like. It houses this 3-camera setup over here in this tuned by Hasselblad module. Now, this is the 4th generation of this Hasselblad partnership. And honestly, we'd started seeing the fruits of what this partnership was all about last year in the OnePlus 11 with the cameras over here. And this is pretty much a similar setup to what we've seen on their foldable, the OnePlus Open, which honestly was one of the best foldables we've reviewed on Tech Today and last year's top foldable as well. It's very similar, but in the front now, for the selfie camera, it's no longer a 16 megapixel. In fact, it's a 32 megapixel camera. What are the selfies like? Let me have a quick look while you guys are watching this. Okay, no unnecessary processing. It's done a fairly decent job. I don't know why people keep saying that they're not happy with the OnePlus camera system. At least in this well-lit scenario, it's getting the detail with the beard, with the background. Everything seems fine. You're obviously getting the Hasselblad branding at the bottom telling you that it's used this sort of lens, this sort of exposure. It's sort of common now with all these partnerships that are happening in the Android world. It's good to see that the Hasselblad partnership is not seeming like a gimmick. It's genuinely yielding good results with good color science on the OnePlus 12. Now, in terms of the rear camera module, which looks like a really cool dial sat at the top, very unique design that I've seen in these new OnePlus devices. And you have a 3-camera system. Now, first you have a 50 megapixel main camera, a 40 megapixel wide-angle lens camera, and then you also have a 64 megapixel telephoto lens camera with 3x optical zoom. Now, it's very confusing with all these new terms that they come up with AI and nightography and all these things with photography, but you can actually effectively get a total 6x zoom on that optical lens within sensor cropping. It does a fairly decent job. We'll be posting some samples for you to see as well. The video, let's see what that's like. It seems fairly fine. Now, if you shot all that awesome content, you'll want to watch it on a good screen. Or even if you want to watch something on an OTT app or on YouTube, well, that's when this device really shines through. Not just indoors, but even in uncontrolled, unregulated environments outside, in bright light. Sometimes you struggle with your devices. That's the specialty of this device. 4,500 nits of peak brightness. Mind-boggling. I haven't even heard of television sets coming with that level of brightness, so there's no chance whatsoever that you could be complaining about the brightness or visibility or legibility when you're reading stuff or you're consuming content on this. What is the screen like? It's a 6.78-inch LTPO display with Pro XDR and Dolby Vision support. They've kept that curved display at the bottom, whether you like it or you don't. That is their design language, and honestly, it's very different from what everyone's doing. Everyone seems to be copying the iPhone. These guys have an identity of their own. Also, that punch hole design for the camera seems old school, but if it works, it's working. So all in all, a good display, good sound quality. Watching content on this device is amazing, but I have a device that I prefer watching content on even more than this or any other, well, standard smartphone in this design, and that happens to be the OnePlus Open. Now, if you're selling smartphones in India in 2024 and you've adopted a no-nonsense approach to break the clutter, like I think OnePlus has, then you need to back this up with good software and good hardware. We've been talking about the hardware, a bunch of other things. Well, this actually comes with this new technology called AquaTouch. Though it's just IP65 in terms of water and dust resistance, that's one level below IP68, but this AquaTouch technology is mind-blowing. If you're using any other device, say even your iPhone 15 Pro Max, which is, well, the ultimate flagship, and you have, well, a Mumbai monsoon which is bothering you, and if a bunch of droplets have formed on your device, then using the display is not that easy. What if you're coming out of a shower or you've stepped out of a room with air conditioning? There could be this sort of condensation on the phone, even if it's running water. This AquaTouch sort of technology that they're using on the OnePlus 12 will ensure, and this is their guarantee, that the phone is still usable. And we've been testing this and honestly have been very, very impressed. Well, a couple of years ago, everyone seemed to be worried that OnePlus was going to go the ColorOS way or the Oppo way. Now, with some of these innovations that we've seen on the OnePlus Open and now on the OnePlus 12, we can safely say that these are features which will make your life a whole lot easier on Oxygen OS. So you can breathe a sigh of relief, take in that oxygen. I think the OnePlus 12 does a fairly decent job. And that flagship experience is not only about what's happening with Oxygen OS or some of these hardware features or some of these innovative new proprietary technologies like AquaTouch. It's also, well, for instance, 3D spatial audio. You're getting that on a device like this as well. And another thing Oxygen OS needs to do is ensure that the battery on this device is used efficiently. And that it does a stellar job at behind the scenes. This device, the OnePlus 12, comes with a massive 5400 mAh battery, and it comes with fast charging. SuperVOOC, a 100-watt adapter. But when you're talking about battery performance, if this gives you over 18 hours on a single charge, you have fast charging. You also now have 50-watt wireless charging, but you have to use their adapter and stuff like that. Okay, we'll give you the verdict with the pricing. If you're talking about this device, 12 GB with 256 gigs of storage will cost you 64,999, and 16 GB of RAM and 512 gigs of storage would cost you 69,999. With a bunch of discounts, you could get this anywhere between 60 to 65,000 rupees for the ultimate flagship in the OnePlus stables, if you're not buying a foldable, of course. Now, if you want to go even more budget and still get a bang for your buck, there's the OnePlus 12R. Now, the OnePlus 12R, in terms of pricing, there's an 8 GB RAM and a 128 GB storage variant, which would cost you 39,999 on the OnePlus 12R. And then you have a 16 GB, 256 GB variant, which would cost you 45,999. Also a formidable device. But if you're considering this device, the flagship, I think this, like I said, is a practical flagship to buy here in 2024. But maybe in the next few months with software updates, there will be a bit of catching up to do with all the AI that's been spoken of. But in terms of hardware and software, I think this will be right up there at the top. I'm smiling because I'm in Amchi, Mumbai, enjoying the amazing weather. Last week was great at Galaxy Unpacked in San Jose, but the weather was not necessarily something to my liking. Here in Mumbai, there's also a lot of announcements from the Samsung ecosystem. In fact, a big one right in the heart of Mumbai and BKC, a stone's throw away from the Apple Store, which was launched a few months ago amidst a lot of fanfare, is now the launch of a Samsung lifestyle experience store where you can experience all their latest products, their AI innovations, and get all sorts of things going, even in terms of interactive sessions and stuff like that. Here's an exclusive first look on Tech Today.
Experts say that 2024 is the year of tech, and guess what? Samsung India has inaugurated its first online to offline, that is O2O lifestyle store here in BKC, Mumbai. I'm here inside the store. The store has 8 zones. So from AI-enabled refrigerator to AI-enabled washing machine, you can find all these products right inside this store. So let's do one thing. Let's go and find out what's in store for you. I'm joined by Sumit Walia, who is the Senior Director D2C Business at Samsung India. Sumit, first of all, thank you so much for taking the time out. Why don't you tell us more about the store, its offerings, and how is this store different than the other ones?
Okay, so Tanya, thank you for having me on your show. I think, like you mentioned, this is first of its kind. I think one of the things which differentiate this store from any other store is this whole lifestyle experience. So what we are showcasing in this lifestyle experience is there are 8 unique zones that we put together to showcase a full range of products that when they come together, as a connected experience, what they unlock for consumers. So for example, this is one of our zones which we call the home atelier. Okay. We've understood that consumers want to actually, customize their products. Okay. So here, what we are doing is we are giving consumers the option to, get access to bespoke line of products. So you can actually customize, changeable panels that you can choose and match to your decor. So trying to take the home appliances category into a whole new direction and have a initiation towards, let's say, a digital experience to how that simulation of how that bespoke line of appliances would look like.
I can see Galaxy S24, that's the talk of the town. Right. Why don't you tell our viewers more about this phone and its unique features?
I think most of you must have heard. It's also another Galaxy AI powered device. I think what's more important is this product here in this zone helps you connect your all appliances, and I think how the AI power comes together and how a connected ecosystem works is what we are trying to demonstrate in the zone. And I think consumers, once they come into the store, they'll realize the true power of the Galaxy AI and how it's able to lift your experience by actually connecting to your television, your appliances, and lift your experience to another level.
By now you've seen the new flagship Samsung store here in Mumbai in BKC, a stone's throw away from the Apple store. But the conversation globally is all about who's the number one smartphone maker. For now, the iPhone is up on top. Even in India, their sales are increasing. But Samsung has launched the new S24 lineup. And we were at Galaxy Unpacked in San Jose. In theory, we saw a bunch of Galaxy AI features and we were quite blown away. But now we have, our own units to really test and sample some of these features. So I thought we're here in Amchi, Mumbai, and what we've seen in theory could be very different in practice. How useful are these features? Are they gimmicks? Or can they be game changers in the smartphone AI race? Let's actually begin by using the first feature that I've been using for the past week, which happens to be, Chat Assist. So essentially, the generative AI wave is here to stay. Whether you use Chat GPT, Google Bard, whatever you use, Galaxy AI has a solution for you, which is proprietary to Samsung. What is this particular solution? So I'm typing this message out here on SMS. You can do this for a social media post as well. If you're bad with spelling, if you're bad with grammar, if you don't understand tones as well, maybe you want to be a lot more polite, maybe you want to be more poetic, maybe you need to be more professional, maybe you want to sound like Shakespeare. All of those are actually options with Chat Assist. So I'm going to type over here saying, hi, what's up? We need to connect about the big idea. Let me know when you're free. And then you see this lovely Gen AI sort of feature here. You get three options: chat translation, writing style, spelling and grammar. First, let's fix the spelling and grammar. And in a matter of seconds, it's checking the text, analyzing it, and it's already made the corrections. All the typos, it's fixed the grammar. But I want to take it a step further. I want to change the tone of my message because I don't have an assistant doing it for me. So why not use this virtual assistant with generative AI? There you go. You have the original, where I've been semi-formal. Then you can make it professional, casual, social, polite. You can really emojify it as well if you want to be like Gen Z. You can also translate to a bunch of other languages. That's really cool. But that's just one AI feature. There's also a bunch of other AI features which can really make your life easier in a real world environment. For that, I need to get up and take a few photos with the S24's camera. Well, this is called Google Click to Search or Circle to Search. You circle anything on Instagram, Netflix, whatever you do by holding this. You can also use the stylus that is provided with the S24 Ultra, and it'll automatically go on Google and find it for you. Shopping links, Wikipedia links, whatever you want. So that is a very useful feature. And one last feature, which is very Google-esque as well, like the pixels, and that's something we'd want to see with other phones as well, is generative fill. It is an almost professional feature, but for that I'll need to take a photo. So I'll see you once we've taken that photo. So one of the coolest features, which I think is a lot like the Pixel 8 Pro, but works like a charm in terms of generative fill, is on the Samsung Gallery. Take a photo with a really good camera. I got this really handsome skater over here, and this is the photo that I got. Now, if I go on the edit option in the gallery, and this is something we spoke to Samsung about, it's only going to be for now in their gallery feature. All these cool AI features when it comes to photos, nightography, all of that. And I just want to essentially move him to this side of the frame. I select him, literally move him here. And in a matter of seconds, he's moved to the other side. I've resized him as well. Even the reflections have been managed. And if you're worried about what this means for deepfakes and stuff like that, because this is quite a, life-structuring, life-altering sort of an edit, it will be updated in the metadata. That means all the information about this photo will mention that it was edited by me using the generative edit feature. So these are some of the features on the Galaxy S24 lineup, which is going to come with the foldables and some of the other Galaxy devices as well. But on the S24, these features work like a charm 90% of the time. So I think it's a game changer when it comes to Galaxy AI, but it is work in progress. It'll get better in the next iteration perhaps. But for now, there is nothing in the smartphone world that can compare to what Samsung's doing with the S24 lineup. Well, that's how we like to do it on Tech Today. Tell it as it is, give you a real-world demo, walk you through it, and then perhaps you can make an informed purchase decision, or not necessarily, because some of these things are gimmicks, some of them are genuinely useful, and this sort of technology can make your life a whole lot easier and more efficient. Well, that brings us to the end of yet another action-packed episode of Tech Today. I'm your host Aayush Ailawadi saying thank you so much for watching. Until next week, adios.